Another bunch of albums from the 80s. This time, albums from 1986. Here we go. Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hoping you had a great morning this morning. It is Wednesday morning, as always, a coffee kind of morning. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. As I said in the intro, there's going to be another 10 albums from 1986. Starting off with this awesome one. I have 2 copies of this one. I have the remastered later version, and I have the original King of America, the 10th album by Elvis Costello, February 21st, 1986. This one's got 5 bonus tracks on it as well, if you can see the track listing there. More roots rock, more country, more folk, more R&B, Americana, about romance, betrayal, alcoholism, American dream. Some of his more accessible songs, heartfelt songs he's written. A great blend of pop and rock and blues and country for sure. So this copy here, it's a double album. You got this one here. I never liked these kinds of cases. And then the remastered one has not only the album remastered, but also it's got 13 tracks from the box set of King of America, which I don't have, but would love to have. I love the design of the CDs in this one. Yeah, awesome stuff. From this, the Hagar version of Van Halen, this box set here, there are 5 albums in this one. You've got 5150, OU 812, For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, Balance, and some studio rarities. So 4 studio albums and a bunch of rarities on this one. 5150, the 7th album by the band. They do come with cool inner sleeves with lyrics, but lyrics so small you can't even read them. Just basic CDs, nothing special about the CDs. Again, the 7th album by Van Halen, the first one to feature Sammy Hagar on vocals, the first of 4 with lead singer Sammy Hagar, who replaced David Lee Roth. 5150 was the name of Eddie Van Halen's studio. Not as heavy as the Rock era for sure, more commercial, more accessible in some ways. Hagar's awesome vocals shine for sure. Eddie's guitar is still there. Got the big hit, Why Can't Be Loved. I find this is more, don't want to say a pop album than a rock album. Good Enough, Why Can't This Be Love, Get Up, Dreams, Summer Nights. I mean, they're cool tracks, and again, pretty successful tracks. I think he was more successful than the David Lee Roth era, but the David Lee Roth era rocked. Best of Both Worlds, Love Walks In, 5150, Inside. Definitely changed the band direction to bring it into the 80s, I guess, and become more commercially successful. But still, overall, a decent album. I've always loved this album. This is Joe Jackson and Big World. Live album, 1986. Recorded in front of an invited audience at the Roundabout Theater in New York City in January 1996. He wanted to capture the intensity and spontaneity of the band in a live performance, but he didn't want the noise of a crowd, so he asked the crowd to remain silent during the recording, which is kind of rare, I guess. All these words on here are Big World in different languages, which is cool, but it's a fantastic album. Right and Wrong, It's a Big World, Precious Time, Wild West, Tonight and Forever, $50 Love Affair, Soul Kiss, The Jet Set, Hometown, Man in the Streets. Great album, great live album. Speaking of awesome albums, and I admit I haven't listened to this one in a long, long, long time. Possibly today. Paul Simon's Graceland, the seventh solo album by Paul Simon, produced by Simon himself as well. August 25th, 1986. Lots of genres in this album. You got pop and rock and acapella, Zydeco, South American styles. His most successful studio album, highest charting album as well, selling over 16 million copies worldwide. 1987 Grammy of the Year as well. Awesome artists on this one as well. You got Adrian Belew on guitar and synths, and guitar, synthesizers, and guitar. The Everly Brothers play on this one. Ralph McDonald, the great percussionist, plays on this one. Linda Ronstadt does some lead vocals. You got the band Los Lobos on here. Ralph McDonald, again, on a couple of tracks. And Steve Gadd does some drumming on this one as well. So overall, a great album. Again, I just have to give it another listen. Excuse me. Another live album, and I love the cover of this one. One of my most favorite covers that I have in my collection. This is Krokus, Alive and Screamin', the first live album by his Swiss hard rock band Krokus, recorded on their U.S. and Canada tour in 1986. Unfortunately, only a single album. I wish it was a double. Mark Storis on vocals, of course. Fernando von Arb on lead guitar. Mark Kohler on rhythm guitar. Tommy Kaiser on drums and Jeff Clavin on Tony Kaiser on bass, Jeff Clavin on drums, and Jay Winding on keyboards. Long Stick Goes Boom from the album One Vice at a Time. Eat the Rich from Headhunter. Screaming in the Night from Headhunter. Hot Shot City from the album Change of Address. Midnight Maniac from the Blitz. Bedside Radio from Metal Rendezvous. Lay Me Down, it's a previously unreleased track that they did. Stayed Awake All Night, the awesome Bachman Turner Overdrive song, written by Randy Bachman from the album Headhunter. They do a fantastic job with that track. And of course, the title track, Headhunter from Headhunter. Awesome track. Awesome album. Great live album for sure. These guys are kind of a hidden gem. The Screaming Blue Messiahs. It's on the Wii label. Second album from the Screaming Blue Messiahs, and their first full-length recording, released in 1986. David Bowie was introduced to the Screaming Blue Messiahs, and he kind of brought them on, and he really promoted them. He thought they were a fantastic band, kind of his pet project, the best band he's ever heard out of England in a long time. And he says there's no one like them, so he pushed them like mad. And you got Bill Carter on lead vocals and lead guitar, Chris Thompson on bass guitar and backing vocals, Kenny Harris on drums, kind of a combination of rock and R&B and rockabilly. Good stuff. I think I've got another one by them somewhere. I think I do. This fantastic album, So, by Peter Gabriel. I also have it on a remastered CD somewhere. May 19th, 1986. Great combination of art pop and art rock and progressive pop and world beat music. One of his best and most successful albums. Nominated for a Grammy, but lost to Paul Simon's Graceland, as I just showed not too long ago. It appears on all the lists of best albums of the year. Voted 82 in Colin Larkin's all-time 1,000 albums to listen to. You got Red Rain, Sledgehammer, the beautiful Don't Give Up, the duet with Kate Bush, In Your Eyes. It's just an awesome album. It really, really is. From the great band The. And again, I love that cover. It's a fantastic cover. Infected, the second album by the English post-punk alternative band released November 17th, 1986. You got 4 singles on this one: Heartland, the title track, Infected, Slow Train to Dawn, Sweet Bird of Truth. You got the amazing Matt Johnson on guitars, keyboards, percussion, and vocals, David Palmer on drums, and Louis Jardim on percussion on this one. Great album. Great album. One, I want to say middle of the road album by Kansas. Still a decent album. This is Power, the 10th album by Kansas, 1986 release. There's a new lineup on this one. You got Phil Earhart on drums, Rich Williams on guitar and backing vocals. Steve Walsh is on here, who played with Deep Purple for like 20 years. Lead vocals, keyboards. Sorry, did I say Steve Walsh? Steve Morse. Steve Walsh is on here doing lead vocals and keyboards. And Billy Greer on bass and guitar and backing vocals. It's a new direction for the band. More hard rock and arena rock than it is prog rock. Again, a new direction. Most of the tracks are written by Steve Morse and Steve Walsh. But a decent album. Silhouettes in Disguise, you got the title track, Power. All I Wanted, Secret Service, We're Not Alone Anymore. Musicato, Taken in the View, Three Pretenders, Tomb 19, Can't Cry Anymore. Not a bad album. Not the greatest, but not a bad album. The cover's awesome. And finally, another one with some controversy, I guess. This is Triumph and the Sport of Kings. A great album. Not their best, for sure. The 8th album by the Canadian hard rock band Triumph, 1986 release. Somebody Out There, one of the songs on the album, was the band's biggest hit. Was on all kinds of charts for weeks and weeks and weeks. It was a tough album for the band. It was the second to last album for Rick Emmett, who would leave the band for a time. Mike Levine, famous for his keyboarding and his bass, didn't play any keyboards on this one. They hired 3 keyboardists outside of the band to play on the album. Emmett sings most of the tracks on this one. Gail Moore only sings 4 on this one. Rick Emmett wanted to have this recorded in Spain, except instead of their own studio, so that caused some tension. Rick Emmett didn't like the album initially. He's grown to love it, but he didn't like it initially. They only recorded and played 3 songs live off of this album as a band. Rick Emmett played one of those tracks in his solo tour. You got Tears in the Rain, Somebody's Out There, Don't Love Anybody But Me. That's kind of an acoustic track with harmony lead vocals, kind of like Boston. It sounds like Boston. But overall, a so-so album. I don't go to this one much, but I'm still glad to have it in my collection for sure. So there you have it, guys. There's 10 awesome albums from 1986. I'll be back again soon with 1987 and 10 more. And have yourself a great rest of the day. Love you all. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.